is going to talk about her experience as a victim.
Thank you, Mylin. Governor Cuomo, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak today. I'm here to tell my story because I want New York State to pass stronger laws so that in the future, girls are not hurt like I was. I think of my 8-year-old sister and want to do everything I can to protect her. When I was 9 years old, I was kidnapped by my school janitor. He raped me and sold me to a pimp. From then on, my life was not my own. I lived under the control of a series of brutal pimps who exploited me for their own profit and sold me on places like Backpage.com to men who knew my age and bought sex because of it. I was kept in a room with no bathroom, in a house with no electricity or running water, and the door was locked from the outside. I was able to escape, but traumatized and vulnerable, I was quickly targeted by another pimp. Pimps are smart, and they know the little things to do to get control over a child. He took me out to dinner, took me shopping, and to get my nails done. He promised me the life that I wanted to lead: school, a loving home, and a family. He told me that I only needed to do one small thing for him in return. Quickly, I was again pulled into a life of violence and exploitation. I was beaten, I was raped, and there was no one there to save me. One time, from the room where he kept me, I saw my mom outside the window hanging up missing posters. I screamed, "Mom, I'm here," and my pimp came up behind me and pulled me by the hair and said, "You will never leave. Good luck trying." When I was 13 years old, the police finally came to get me, but I wasn't rescued as a missing child. I was arrested and placed in handcuffs as a prostitute. I was called prostitute even though I was a child, even though I was a trafficking victim. When I was freed from that life, you would think that everything would be better, but it wasn't. I was angry, I was traumatized, and I was scared. I didn't understand how the man who promised me a better future, who had been my protector, was also the person who victimized me. He told me that I couldn't exist without him, and I couldn't understand a world in which anything else was true. When the DA said I needed to testify against my trafficker, I didn't think I could do it. She told me I needed to be strong. She told me that I was a victim, but all I saw was the man who held the keys to my days, who decided whether I'd be raped, whether I'd be beaten, or whether I'd be fed. He was eventually convicted of kidnapping and will only serve about 4 years. This man who owned me as a slave, who sold me to child rapists, who profited from my body, deserves to be punished more harshly. We need to send a message to other people who want to exploit women and girls, men and boys, the way I was exploited, that New York State does not stand for this crime. This is why I support the Women's Equality Act, especially for the human trafficking portion. Thank you, Governor Cuomo, and members of the Women's Equality Act Coalition for standing up for girls like me and for taking a stand against human trafficking, modern-day slavery in New York State. Thank you.
Well, Brianna, thank you very much for sharing that story. We can all understand how it takes real courage for you to be here and tell that story, but you're here so that other people don't feel the same pain that you did, and we truly applaud it.